Hi, I'm Mason Mount. Watch wall-to-wall World Cup coverage on talkSPORT's YouTube channel.
This is your first World Cup. What were you doing in 2018? Where did you watch that?
I actually went to a game. Me, Phil, and Ryan Sessegnon got taken out there by Nike, so to go and watch a game and be there live and take in all the experience and atmosphere, I think for us, it really made us even more determined to want to be here now, and crazy journey to be out there and to witness the game. And then obviously now I'm here, and we're a couple of days away from that first game, so it's special.
Which match was it? Was it the semi-final?
No, it was one of the group games. I think. What was the Tunisia score?
Oh gosh, now you're testing me. Was it 6? Wow.
I can't remember what one it was.
Yeah.
Maybe the first game. What was the first game? I think it was that one, Panama.
Did you? How much did you enjoy it?
Well, it's unbelievable. We travelled out there and we had like 1 or 2 days before the game, watched it, had like 1 or 2 days after, and then we went back. But it's just the whole atmosphere around every single game was just something that I've never experienced before, and to see all the fans and to be there as a fan, you take in a lot more. You see a lot more than what we see as players. We get on the coach, we go back to the hotel, we don't see anything apart from that. So you take in a lot, and it was amazing to see that side of it.
So they reached the semi-finals. You then reached the final of the Euros. How much belief is there in this squad that step further is possible?
Yeah, I think we've always had belief, and that's not overconfidence. We know what we can do, and we're humble in that, and we know we continue to work hard and to get better. But we're on a good path, and I think if we perform to what we know we can do, then we definitely have a chance to progress and hopefully get to the end, and that's our goal. We want to go that one more step and win it and make the country proud. So that's all of our goals, and we're going to do everything we can to try and achieve that.
I know you're a big football fan, not just as a player. You're a proper fan. I've got my World Cup wall chart up already. I've charted if England get to the final. Who do you see as the biggest threats in this World Cup? Who have you kind of looked when you've kind of surveyed what could be ahead?
I mean, the teams that have done well over the last couple of years, France, Brazil. I think they're two teams that are going to be strong, and for us, obviously playing the Euros and the friendly games or other games we play, we don't really get to experience the likes of Brazil and Argentina and Colombia, the teams that do the stuff off the ball and the dark arts of the game, which you have to, especially in a big game like this, or if we do get to play them, you have to be ready for that. And I think they played them in 2018, Colombia. And
they did.
I watched it, and it was a tough game. And
that was the penalty shootout.
Yeah, these are the games that you want to play in, but we're ready, and I think we're enjoying every moment so far. And we've got 3 tough group games to start.
You talk about the dark arts. Is that something that you've integrated into training in some way? How to deal with the teams that you don't necessarily face that often?
I think it's difficult to integrate into training. It's one of them things that in the games you have to deal with and be savvy about, and to know it's coming. As I said, we don't get to experience it often, so you have to be aware of that. But first and foremost, we worry also about ourselves and how we perform, and going into the game what we want to do as a team. But this happens. This is the World Cup.
I remember watching the Lionesses step out at Old Trafford for their opening game, and a lot of the players who are usually very cool and calm looked like, well, they spoke to me afterwards. It's an overwhelming situation. Have you kind of visualised what that might be if you're to step out at the Khalifa Stadium on Monday night? Have you thought about what it might be like and feel like?
Not yet. I think the focus of mine was to get out here, take it all in and enjoy it. I think that's one of the most important things, to enjoy every moment. I think if I look back at the Euros, it was such a blur and everything happened so quickly that some of the memories I have are obviously amazing, but it's like a bit of a blur for me. So to take everything in and to enjoy the moment, that's going to be very special. But stepping out onto that pitch, if it's you're starting or you're coming on a sub, you have to be ready. And as players, we've done it all our lives, step onto a pitch and play football. But this is the pinnacle, and this is the top of the top, and you're representing your country at World Cup. So it's going to be different. I haven't experienced it before, so I don't know what that feeling is going to be like, but I'll try and prepare myself as much as I can.
Yeah, I can imagine it feeling a bit out of body experience almost. It's just surreal, isn't it? All over. But interesting you mentioned about coming on as a sub or starting, and there's lots of conversations about how Gareth Southgate is going to set everything up, what they're going to do. Your position at Chelsea, you revolve around, whether it's under Thomas Tuchel or Graham Potter. You're obviously versatile for England as well, but what do you feel is your best position? Because there's lots of questions over where you fit in if Gareth was to choose a back three, for example.
Yeah, I mean, over the last couple of years at Chelsea, I've played different positions. I've played higher as a 10, maybe a winger, number 8. So I think for me, you're at a World Cup, and wherever you play or wherever you get asked to play, it doesn't matter. You're going to give it your all. And I think my best position and what I look at myself being the most productive is like an 8 or a 10, and being able to go forward and get in the box and score goals, but also help the team and defend. And really, you're going to have to defend in these World Cups, and they're going to be tough games. So I think that's where obviously I can help. And but wherever I'm called upon, I'll be there to give it everything.
Gareth Southgate has always said James Maddison wasn't included because yourself, Phil Foden and Jack Grealish cover his position and have been in better form. But obviously, James comes into this tournament arguably in the best form of everybody this season. How much competition is there, and what do you bring that perhaps the others don't?
Massive competition, and we know the technical ability that we have going forward, and being able to combine as a unit is so important. And I think Madders has been amazing this season, and the goals he scored and the assists he's got really help us as a team. So brilliant to see him come into the squad again, and we're all in this together. So we're a group. We want to be here for a long time, so we have to keep working hard together, and there's competition, as I said, but that sets the level high in training and in games, and you're always at the best level you can be. And as I said before, if that's a sub or you're starting the game, you want to give it everything, and you know that there's players that are on the bench that want to come on and make an impact also.
A couple of quick questions before we get into the quick social ones. Stuart Pearce is part of our team. Apparently, he lost £7 every game he played at Italia 90. It was around about 30 degrees out there back then. How different is the regime out here than what you're used to in terms of like food, fluids and stuff like that?
Yeah, we've been preparing. We know we're going to sweat a lot more, and that's kind of liquid weight that we've got to put in our bodies before the game, and then straight after to recover as best we can. We know the short periods between each games. That's something we've been speaking about for a long time, so we've been putting it into practice. But when you're out here and you're in the moment, it's difficult. The heat plays a big part in that. But I think the game times help. If it's a bit later, we trained obviously the first day that we did train, it was later on, and it was bearable as much as you can. But yeah, it's going to be difficult, and we're learning as we go along. But we're ready, and as I said, we've been preparing for a long time for this.